Okay, I kind of wanted to explain this last part of the process. I think pretty much going through the video, I point out the main factors that you need to know in order to have a successful look. And obviously, with keeping these lines from intermingling with each other, you really have to wait timing-wise. And I may have waited a little too long on this one, but I'm still very pleased with the overall effect. But when you take it out, and this is the part that is face down in your mold, and it comes out, it's just not super glass shiny. And so this fast set layer, which just has a 10-minute working time, and then it just turns into sticky plastic. So you have to work really quickly. This is what really gives it that glassy look. Instead of plastic, it takes it to more of a glass level look wise. And the backs of the coasters, I had laid them down on top of parchment paper, so they had kind of a weird, a foggy kind of effect on the bottom side. So I'm putting a coat on the bottom, and I'll turn over and do a top coat on the top after this side has cured. I'm not going to show that part in the video, but I want to explain to you that I'm doing that first. And with fast set, there is an odor. I highly recommend a mask because there are way more bubbles with fast set, and you have to keep kind of torching. You can see little micro bubbles, and just put your flame on low and just keep coming and looking and torching and get rid of all those little micro bubbles, because otherwise when it cures, if you have any clear parts that show, which I do in this case, you're going to see those little fine micro bubbles. And the other thing I was showing you with my gloves is your non-dominant hand, keep it with a nice clean glove so that you can hold your bowl underneath and use that dominant hand, which is my right hand, with the glove on. Obviously never touch resin with your hands because it's just not good for you. I used my dominant hand to go up and down every little bit of, every little wave up to the edge, and also just around the top edge, just a little touch just to give it that final glassy look. And like right now, I still see like a little spot that looks a little cloudy from bubbles. So you gotta keep going back. But you cannot touch this resin after 10 or 12 minutes or so, or it's going to tack up and pull up like a string, and you'll have a hot mess. So you have to learn with fast set to get it mixed, and after 6 minutes, you've got 10 minutes to work with it. I usually put a piece of tape down on the bottom, and I like to put my coasters on this little round turntable. It's really very easy to use. And it kind of helps you turn your coaster without having to hold your coaster. And with fast set, it's thicker than medium viscosity, which is what we created the piece with. And it won't go over the edges if you put the right amount. And the right amount that you're going to need is no more than ½ ounce per coaster. Really, you could get by with less. And so you put down, I would say about the size of maybe a $50 or so, say this second ring here on this coaster compared to my thumb that has paint underneath it. a puddle about that size on a coaster, and then I heat it with the low temp heat tool just a little bit, and that makes it a little thinner because it's warmed up, but it makes it just a little easier to spread. And then I take my silicone brush and I'm doing it in a sweeping motion. And when you do it in a sweeping motion, it takes it up to those little edges of that geode shape that have the little points, but it doesn't really go over. And you just learn how, you'd have to learn from experience. And I don't do it perfectly every time. Every once in a while I'll have some that leaks over the edge. And when that happens, after your facet has cured and it leaks over by accident, sometimes you can turn it over, heat it with your low temp heat tool for a little bit, and kind of with your fingernail just take that resin that got underneath and take it off with your fingernail. Sometimes it will work and it looks great, and sometimes it won't work and you're going to have to recoat the other side. But you learn from doing it many, many times how much resin you really need. And you know, if you put too much on, you're going to have chances of it kind of flowing over. You know, if you put too little, you just kind of pull it out and it drags and it just doesn't go all the way to the edge, then you know you need a little bit more resin on top of that surface. But to do a bowl or a tray and 2 coasters, you never need more than 3 ounces for a top coat. And that's all you need. So I'm gonna do the bubbles one more time, and then you definitely want to cover this. I've got a food mat. Everything I use is always under the video. I'm going to use a food net, but I'm going to move this off my table because I got another project to work on. But I'll cover it up, and it'll be cured in a couple of hours. That's the beauty of fast set, is it's really fast curing. I don't use it for any other purpose besides a fast set type top coat, or if I just need a layer of color and I just want to do it really quick, a straight color, and it's done. But you cannot do any special effects with fast set. You cannot get any bloom effects or anything dimensional. It will not work with fast set, believe me. And this is the original fast set. It's not the new turbo, which is even less working time. And I never use that because I'm always working with bowls, coasters, trays, and things like that. You cannot use turbo on any of those. So I hope that helps you, and I'll show pictures when it's finished outside. Thank you so much. I hope you learned something. Love you all. Bye-bye.